What's up everyone, welcome back. So I have been asked by a couple of people about my filming gear and the tools that I use in putting my videos together. And I just thought I would make a video in which I would talk about every single thing that I use. Some of them are obvious, but some of them not so much. I truly believe that this is a budget-friendly list, but I also understand that budget is relative. So I would definitely advise that if you're starting out content creation or you're trying to upgrade your gear, you should probably do it in phases, like buy one thing at a time and pace yourself. I would also have links in the description box for you to buy all of the tools I'm going to mention in this video. So I would categorize everything I'm going to talk about under video, audio, lighting, and editing. Starting with video and specifically my camera. I use a Canon EOS Rebel 600D, also known as a Canon EOS Rebel T3i. Fun fact, this camera was first produced in 2011 by Canon and they have since discontinued it, but it still films in HD 1920p at 24 frames per second or 25 frames per second. I definitely do not regret buying this camera. I know that there are more updated versions I could have gotten, like the Canon M50 and all of that, but I was working with a budget and I just wanted to get the best thing that my money could buy, and I think that this is it. I think that this works great for me for my sit down videos and my tutorials. And also this camera comes with a flip screen, so I can literally see myself right now, even though I also use my laptop as a monitor. I also am able to see my tutorials when I'm filming them like on my desk, and my camera is right up there. The flip screen can go 360 degrees, so I can flip from up there and I can see what is going on my table, and I think that that is just phenomenal. I'm not sure that I would recommend this camera for vlogging. The autofocus is not fast enough to immediately focus on something when you are moving around, but for sit down videos and for my tutorials, I think that I got a very good camera for the value. Moving on to lenses. The lens that I'm using right now and that I use in filming most of my videos is my Canon 24mm f2.8 lens. So my camera did come with a kit lens, and this is it. It's a zoom lens between 18 to 55 millimeters and f3.5 to 5.6 aperture. The problem with this kit lens and with most kit lenses is that they have low aperture. So quick one, aperture is the number that indicates a lens's ability to utilize the light around it, and the lower the number, the higher the aperture. When you hear 5.6, that's a low aperture. 3.5 is higher and 2.8 is higher than that. So with this lens, I can only access the 3.5 aperture when I am on the 18mm focal length, which I almost never use. So I knew that I had to upgrade this lens, and I would have loved to have gotten a 50mm, the Nifty 50, because it would even have captured way more light. I believe that it comes with f1.8, but I would have had issues filming in my not so large room because it would have been so zoomed in my face. So I got my 24mm lens, which has 2.8 aperture, able to capture way more light than this lens. Also, my lens is a prime lens, which is a lens that has just one focal length. You can't vary it, like a zoom lens. It's also an STM lens, and when it's focusing, it's literally silent, unlike this one. I don't know if you can hear this one, but that's how it focuses. It's loud. Of course, I need to mention that when I need to zoom in on my subject, I still use my kit lens to do that. So it's not like it's a waste. I still use it a lot. I'm just grateful to have this other lens that is able to utilize light more and that actually serves the bulk of my needs at 24mm. I'm moving on to the less obvious things. So the first non-obvious thing that I'm going to talk about today is my SD card. Cameras need a place to store the footage that they are making, and that is usually in the form of a memory card. I use a 64 gig SD card in my camera. I don't think that one should go below that. You don't want to have to keep removing the SD card and transferring the footage out of it before you can, continue your filming. So I do think that 64 gig minimum. If you can get 128 gig, great. So moving on from SD cards, I want to talk about my hard drive. I use this 1 terabyte Western Digital hard drive to house my footages, but most importantly in my editing. Footages are heavy and you just don't want to keep all of them on your computer. So having a hard drive is extremely beneficial. I always just keep my footages here, and when it's time for me to edit, I just plug it to my system and I edit on the go, and when I'm done, I get rid of it. The next not so obvious thing is a tripod. tripod, a tripod stand. I'm going to just link my tripod stand in the description box. It's a very tall tripod stand which I'm able to make use of for my tutorials. Sometimes I have my camera really high up towering over me, and it's thanks to my tripod stand that I am able to do that. Next thing I'm going to talk about is an extra battery. You need to buy an extra battery from the get-go. Camera batteries don't even last that long, and you want to have a replacement as soon as one dies. My battery probably lasts for maybe maximum of 1 hour 30 minutes. So every time that I'm using one, I always have another charging so that I can then replace it once that one dies and have the cycle running for me. So that is something that you should definitely take into consideration. Next thing I want to quickly talk about on the video is vlogging. I made a decision that my Samsung S10 Plus is going to be my vlogging camera for now. I definitely think that it makes decent videos, and I'm not ready for the investment of a vlogging camera. So I'm going to put up footages so that you see what the front camera looks like, the back camera looks like, both in normal lens and in its wide angle lens. I think that it makes a really great video. Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Atolagbe, and today I'm taking you with me as I go through my weekend. And I like to pair it with this tripod stand. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I have been posting some reels lately. This paired with my phone is what I use in filming them. The reason that I love this tripod stand so much is because it has this flexible foldable legs. So what I usually do is I would mount my phone on this tripod stand. I would move maybe my lighting tripod stand close to my table, and I would wrap these legs around the tripod stand, right? And then I'm able to get my phone as close to what I'm trying to film as possible. This is crazy effective. I also love it because I can always get this phone holder out and it is usable with my real tripod camera. So this is definitely something that I'm excited that I bought. Right now, I'm moving on to audio. As all our senior colleagues on YouTube have said, I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to say it anyway. Viewers will forgive you for bad video, but they will not forgive you for bad audio. I think that bad audio definitely does not feel great. So for my first few videos, I think my first 4 videos or so, when I would watch them, I just really hated the audio. It was not clear. There was a lot of background noise, and I just wasn't proud of them. So I would say that you need to invest in a microphone, and you also need to figure out how best to use that microphone. I use a Boya lav mic. It's a lapel mic that I have on my dress right now. This thing is 6 meters long. I've never even used the entire length. I think that it makes decent audio. You don't have to tweak or edit anything. You can literally use your audio right out of the microphone and it would be clear to your audience. I'm currently using it right now with my other phone. I would usually do that because I don't like the sound quality from the DSLR. So what I do is I have audio from my phone and I would sync it with my video when I'm editing in my editing software. Trust me when I say that is way easier than it sounds. Okay, so as someone who has struggled with audio before, like I said, the first few videos that I made, I had issues with them. I just want to give 1 or 2 tips that are currently helping me to make better, clearer, decent audio. And the first thing is that I try to eliminate noise as much as possible. Because I live in a very noisy area, there's always someone calling their kid, there's always a truck passing by, and I don't have like a soundproof window. So what I now do is that when I need to record sound, I only do it in the night. The time is actually 4:04 a.m. I started filming around 3:30. That is what I currently do. So when I want to do a sit down video or I want to do a voiceover, I only do them in the night so that I don't have those secondary external annoying interferences. Another thing that I do is I try to turn off loud things in my room. I have a ceiling fan, I have an AC. These things are usually loud and I like to take them down. What I like to do now is to use this table rechargeable fan that I recently got, it looks like this. It just sits at about an arm's length away from me and it blows in my face and I'm able to avoid breaking a sweat. That's it. That's how I currently manage my audio. I'm moving on quickly to lighting. I use two softboxes to light up my videos. They're both in front of me right now. I think their dimensions are about 50 by 70 centimeters and each of them has 4 40-watt bulbs inside of it. Another thing that I like to do is to light up my background with this extra light, which I forgot to turn on for the most part of this video. I like to use it to add some warmth and also some background lighting to my work. It's a redhead light and it actually has two light settings. There's the tungsten and there's the fluorescent. So what I like to do is to use a little bit of the tungsten to just warm up my background and just make it look less fluorescent. So this is with the light and this is without the light. Another thing that I'm using for the first time today, even though I have had it for months, is my reflector. I currently have it on my table right now. It's supposed to bounce light back onto me and make me more evenly lit. We're going to see if it makes a difference. This is with the reflector. This is without the reflector. I don't know yet. When I'm editing, I would see the difference. And reflector is back on. So that is it for my lighting situation for now. And I'm currently moving on to editing. The software that I use is DaVinci Resolve. Hands down, from all of the research that I did when I was starting out, DaVinci Resolve is the best free editing software on the market. Free DaVinci Resolve is even rated higher than so many paid softwares. The app can seem overwhelming when you're starting out. What I did when I started was I took a crash course in DaVinci Resolve that explained all of the interfaces and what they mean and all of the basics. I'm going to link to the crash course, the specific crash course that I did, in the description box. And subsequently, when I have specifics to do that were not covered in the crash course, I would just search for it on YouTube and find a tutorial that teaches it. And I also chose it because when my skills and my needs do expand in the future, I don't want to have to go learn to use another software or anything. There are people who have left iMovie, Final Cut Pro for DaVinci Resolve. So you can feel free to check out the website and download it if that's what you want. And with this, I have come to the end of this video. I genuinely hope that this was a valuable one. Let me know what you think in the comment section as new creators. Which tools do you have? Which ones are you looking to buy? Which ones do you think that I should definitely have? I want to know your opinions in the comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel for subsequent videos in another niche entirely. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.